of the many things that COVID-19 pandemic taught us was just how fragile most organizations' supply chains are. A White House report indicates that a majority of businesses experienced major disruptions over a year after the onset of the pandemic. Fortunately, we've learned some valuable lessons on the power of strategic partnerships and how they can simplify and improve supply chains in a post-pandemic world. One way is to understand pre- versus post-pandemic trends. According to the MIT Center for Transportation and Logistics, it's important to recognize that COVID-19 wasn't what broke the global supply chain. Instead, it revealed underlying problems that already existed. Now, this served as a long-term positive because it helped us accelerate industry changes. The organizations that were best able to respond to pandemic challenges had adopted an agile approach that allowed them to quickly change their processes as needed, and sometimes even completely pivot their processes to address changing customer needs. The pandemic also accelerated trends of supply chain automation and achieving full end-to-end visibility to better evaluate supplier relationships and customer behaviors. Many of these functions rely on some form of strategic partnership to be carried out to get the maximum effect. For example, brands need third-party software and robotic experts to help them implement automation. They also need improved communication with suppliers to achieve full supply chain transparency. Without these types of partnerships in place, and without the right partners, efforts to implement these big picture trends will fall short of their potential. Let's look at a second area, which is focusing on the essentials. The pandemic also taught some companies a hard lesson about carefully judging the value delivered by each partnership. Sometimes simplifying your supply chain operations means cutting out partners who are no longer serving your business effectively, or being more selective regarding the partners that you do work with. Businesses should revisit or even revitalize existing relationships to optimize their supply chain operations. Now let's look at number 3, emphasizing collaboration to solve problems. For many organizations, the pandemic, as well as the economic uncertainty and inflation from the last year, has caused organizations to more critically evaluate their supply chain partnerships. Of course, costs are an important thing to consider in a partnership, but so too is the partner's ability to collaborate to solve other types of pressing supply chain problems. Because of this, transparency is essential. Transparency can increase the value delivered in your supply chain that help you meet your customer expectations. Organizations that emphasize collaboration aren't going to withhold important information from upstream or downstream partners because their focus is on an end-to-end facilitation of a smooth supply chain for everyone in the supply chain, not just for themselves. When this happens, supply chain costs decrease, customer satisfaction increases, and everybody wins. Now, the fourth area is maximizing resiliency, agility, and sustainability. When strategic partners have the right collaborative mindset and are able to deliver technology or resources that streamline your supply chain operations, they subsequently maximize your organization's resilience, agility, and sustainability. This is especially important in light of how consumer preferences have changed in a post-pandemic world. In fact, a report from McKinsey illustrates, and I quote, "This fast-moving, fragmented, consumer-centric world will require a different sort of supply chain. Traditional supply chains sought to achieve stability and minimize cost. Future supply chains need to be agile," end quote. When vetting potential supply chain partners, organizations should consider how that partner's capabilities, technology resources, and even their vision can amplify your own resilience, agility, and sustainability. The bottom line, it is your bottom line. The better your organization is able to proactively address challenges and changes in the global market, the better you're going to be able to respond to everything from shifting customer demand to cost savings initiatives to even solving tough sustainability challenges.